She had been forgetting things for months before she noticed the pattern. First, it was small, the name of the river where she was born, the sound of her mother's laugh, the color of the dress she wore the night she turned 17. She blamed exhaustion. She blamed the smoke from the lanterns that burned too long each night. She blamed everything except the man who slept beside her. His name was Ren. She had loved him for 3 years, or she believes she had, though lately she could not quite remember how they had met, or why she had first trusted him, or what his hands had felt like before she had let him take them in his own. The old woman in the market told her to look for the 9th tale. She laughed. She had heard the old stories, the huli jing, the fox spirits that wore human skin and fed on the life force of those who loved them. She had heard that the oldest and most powerful carried 9 tails, each one coiled with stolen memory, stolen years, stolen self. She had always thought it was a story told to keep women from loving too freely. She stopped laughing the night she followed him to the edge of the forest and saw what he truly was. He stood in the clearing with his back to her, and in the moonlight she counted. 1, 2. She counted until her hand stopped working and her throat closed around the number. 9. He turned before she could run. His eyes were the same eyes she had loved. His voice was the same voice that had spoken her name in the dark, but his face held something new, or perhaps something very old, a sorrow so deep it looked almost like regret. "You were not meant to follow," he said. She asked him where her memories were. She asked him what he had taken, and why, and whether any of what she had felt had been real at all. He reached into his robes and held out his hand. In his palm lay something she could not name, a small, bright thing, warm and luminous that pulsed like a heartbeat. "This is the first one I ever took from you. The moment you saw me across the market and decided without knowing why that I was safe." She stared at it. She could feel the shape of what she had lost without being able to see inside it. "Why?" she whispered. "Because I am old, and the old things feed on what is new, on memory, on wonder, on the particular light that lives in a person before the world teaches them to be afraid." He closed his fingers around it. "But I kept this one," he said quietly. "I kept it because I did not want you to stop trusting the world." She did not know whether that made him kind or monstrous. She was not certain, standing in that forest with the moon overhead and her memories scattered across 9 luminous tales, that there was a difference. She left before dawn. She carried with her what little remained. And for the rest of her life, she would sometimes wake in the small hours of the morning with the feeling that something extraordinary had once happened to her. Something she could almost name, like a word in a language she had forgotten she ever knew. She would lie still and listen, but the memory never came.